All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the coin. This is the latest that's going around. In terms of indirect Chelsea news, obviously it's a news on Man United. Cristiano Ronaldo dropped for the upcoming Chelsea game. Some would probably say advantage Man United.
All right. Here we go back again on the other side of the coin.
All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get stuck into all of the latest Chelsea news that's happening. First of all, this is actually a Man United news, but it's indirectly, sort of connected to us. Obviously, we're playing Man United up next. This is the official statement. The official statement is obviously off the back of the incident that took place yesterday against Spurs post-match. Before the final whistle was, blown, Cristiano Ronaldo walked off and, didn't congratulate any of his teammates, didn't say anything, and just simply walked off. And I suppose many people are upset about this. To be honest, that incident in itself is unprofessional-like, and it's uncalled for. When your team has played the kind of football that they did against Spurs, and they absolutely decimated Spurs, I'm a little bit worried, moving into this fixture. You're meant to stay there, celebrate with the team, and the fact that you're so, we all knew how arrogant Cristiano Ronaldo is, but the fact that it's so blatant now, like you just literally put it out there that you don't really give a damn, and you've walked off. Obviously, it's not being looked at nicely, not just within Man United fan base, but actually worldwide as well, with fans in neutral. Do you know what I mean? Just saying that's very, very unprofessional. But this is this club statement, ladies and gentlemen. Cristiano Ronaldo will not be part of the Man United team for this Saturday's game against Chelsea. Rest of the squad is fully focused on preparing for that fixture. I'll give you my opinion on Cristiano Ronaldo very, very soon. Let's just go through what the news is saying. Manchester United are backing Erik ten Hag's stance and his decision on Cristiano Ronaldo's situation. It has been decided by Ten Hag and 100% approved by the club and board. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I know there was a lot of rumors about Cristiano Ronaldo possibly joining Chelsea last summer. And I was pro that particular situation. I don't know, a lot of you guys weren't pro and weren't happy that we were linked. Todd Bowley, whatever reasonings he had, I think one of the reasons being is he's very much a business decision as well, not just a footballing decision. Look, what he did yesterday, foul. And is Cristiano Ronaldo an arrogant person? 100%. But which superstars in the world, at his level, I'm talking about, don't have some form of arrogance? Do you know what I mean? That, no excuse. But in terms of this particular player, look, I grew up watching this player, right? Literally grew up watching this player, sort of mid-teens, late teens, early 20s. It was all Cristiano Ronaldo, Man United, Real Madrid specifically. That phase was unbelievable from Cristiano Ronaldo. And from a purely a fan's perspective, forget about me being a Chelsea fan for a second, just purely a footballing fan perspective, it does annoy me to see a legend of the game being benched week in, week out at Man United. But look, it's not my issue, but I'm just saying, like, that level of a player should be able to play somewhere, do you know what I mean? Should be able to play in the Champions League. There should be the headlines about Messi, Ronaldo in the Champions League. This guy has missed the Champions League, do you know what I mean? Look, had he come to Chelsea, would all of this still happen? Maybe, I don't know, but I think mindset is so important. He's not liking life at Man United, and things are going south predominantly because of that. I don't think it would have necessarily been like that for Chelsea. It's a new club, new beginning, and we could have seen that Cristiano Ronaldo that bangs in goals. Even last season, I know there were periods where he didn't bang in goals, but he still ended up being Man United's highest goal scorer, Man United player of the season. He literally saved them in the Champions League. And perhaps it could have been something like that for us. Do you know what I mean? If I know it's not Thomas Tuchel anymore, but maybe Graham Potter could have got something out of a player like Cristiano Ronaldo. But look, hindsight is a different story. Right now, probably for the best that it didn't happen. But I don't think this guy is, because of what's happening right now, everyone is saying he's washed, this, that, the other. For me, I don't know whether I'm being sentimental, but I know some of you guys will understand where I'm saying that Ronaldo that I've known, and literally, even last season, he wasn't that bad as some people have been saying. There's still something that Ronaldo can possibly provide in a footballing stage. Maybe not for Chelsea, but for someone else out there. Because this guy, for me, I still think he's a phenomenal player. But look, maybe it's advantage Man United, the fact that he's not around. I don't think he would have started anyway. So how much of this news affects us? Probably not. I wouldn't have expected Erik ten Hag to start him. It would have been probably Rashford and Jadon Sancho and so on and so forth. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you let me know how you feel about the whole Cristiano Ronaldo situation. Now, let's have a look at some Thomas Tuchel slander that is still continuing in the timeline. Journalists are still after Thomas Tuchel. Articles are still dropping down. This is the latest that's come from Liam Toomey. Let's have a look at this. The feeling internally at Chelsea is Armando Broja has the potential to blossom into one of Europe's elite strikers. Thomas Tuchel's refusal to even countenance Carney Chukwuemeka as a first-team option was one of many sources of tension with the new owners. Apparently, it's not just Armando Broja, but Carney Chukwuemeka not including him in the first team was another reason why Thomas Tuchel got sacked. I don't get this. And PYS very, very shrewdly has added a particular tweet from Fabrizio Romano, 3rd August. Carney Chukwuemeka came to Chelsea because of Thomas Tuchel. Tuchel's team needs energy in midfield, and Tuchel is convinced he can be ready to help the team immediately. This is from Fabrizio Romano, 3rd August. And now we're hearing this from Liam Toomey? I mean, let's just give it a rest, man. Honestly, let's just give it a rest. He's moved on. Let's not try and find some conspiracy theory and try and even, impose even more issues around Thomas Tuchel's sacking and whatnot. Look, the new owners didn't like him. They wanted more communication. Let's move on. They didn't work out, and they wanted to get their own man, and they have. So let's not try and pick out more little bits and pieces a month or so, nearly 2 months since Thomas Tuchel has been sacked, finding new reasons to put blame on him and make him look like he's some sort of a villain in this whole situation. Let's not forget all the happiness that Thomas Tuchel has provided Chelsea Football Club: Champions League, Club World Cup, Super Cup, and looking after us in the most tumultuous time in the club's history, during sanctions and the club ownership changing, the owner, Roman Abramovich, the way he was treated, like looking after us during that time. We should be grateful, man. I know these journalists, they don't have any connections. They don't have any ties with the football club, and they can write whatever they want to write, and they'll write whatever they want to write in order to get the clicks. But it's just wrong. It's just wrong. Let's move on to the next one. AC Milan chief Frederic Massara has had several contacts in recent weeks with the entourage of Chelsea forward Armando Broja as they look to sign a new number 9. Look, this ain't happening. Armando Broja, I think Chelsea have clocked it massively. This guy's going to be a superstar at Chelsea. Look, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. There's a lot of work, but the key ingredients, the potential is there for Armando Broja. The pace, the energy, the technicality, it's all there. It's just about decision making now, which we obviously saw against Brentford. Lacked a little bit. Had he been a little bit more clinical with his decision making, I think he probably could have got a couple of assists, maybe even a goal. So look, at the end of the day, he's young. Those things will flush out. They'll clean up. Right now, there is no way in hell he's joining anyone else. He got a long-term contract with Chelsea Football Club, and that's how it's going to stay. Now we want to talk about a little bit about Trevoh Chalobah. So the comments that he's made, and I want to give you some opinion on Trevoh Chalobah. Trevoh Chalobah on clean sheets, we are looking at it as a goal for us defenders and as a team. If we keep doing the clean sheets, we know that the chances will be created and we will win more games. 100%. Keep a clean sheet. All it means is scoring a goal up front. It is the mentality the manager has brought in, suffering playing teams like this. There are going to be a lot of long balls. We are going to have to run for each other, work for each other. That's the most important thing, suffering. And the way he helped out Kalidou Koulibaly yesterday, tremendous. Not once, but at least a couple of times there where Koulibaly stuffed up. Chalobah was there to mop things up. There was once as well where Chalobah stuffed up and Koulibaly was there to mop things up. And this is what he's saying. Got to be able to look after each other. In the team like Chelsea, everyone expects us to play a lot of serious ball, but we have to show the other side of the game, and that's suffering. That's what teams like Brentford and a lot of the other smaller teams do. So look, we did suffer. Look, I'm patient. This is the thing about Graham Potter. Sometimes, obviously, with the new manager coming in, and yes, most of us are a little bit frustrated that we didn't get the win, but I think we just need to be patient, man. I know we need to come down to earth. We just need to stay patient and let Graham Potter do his thing, develop his football, and these sort of results will happen in the early stages. But down the track, once he gets more of his players in, once he embeds his way of playing on a regular basis, I think these results will turn for us, and we're going to start seeing 3 points in these matches. For the time being, probably time to be patient. Trevoh Chalobah on England call-up. I hope he gets the England call-up, man. There's a lot of not so good defenders in England, especially Harry Maguire. Then there's Mings as well. How Tomori doesn't get a call-up, but lately we saw what Tomori is up to. Chalobah, definitely a shout, man. Definitely a shout. I think John Stones is injured as well, so we'll see. Obviously, Reece James is injured. It's always a kid's dream to be called up, but my focus is to give my all for the club and then see what happens. Great to see his focus is on the club football at the moment. Obviously, if he gets the England call-up, that'll be amazing. For me, the first thing was to play for Chelsea and to get myself back into the team. And I'm doing that now. That's the most important thing. There are a lot of games coming up, and I want to play every single game, and we'll see the team win. For me, it is the club football for me now. I never focus on anything else. It's meant to be. But Chelsea is my main. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. But Chelsea is my main priority at the moment. Yeah, if England call-up comes, I'm ready for what's ahead. Look, in regards to Chalobah, ladies and gentlemen, I was so surprised and a little bit baffled in the summer how there was talks about him possibly leaving and him, I suppose not being in favour. I saw enough good last season, and I was baffled. The amount of centre backs that we were trying to get in the summer, I was like, we've got Trevoh Chalobah, man. He should be one of them putting their hand up as a permanent stay up. Like the fact that the way he had the breakthrough season last season, and I'm not saying he didn't have mistakes. Of course he had mistakes, but overall I thought it was a decent season. And the fact that you had the season last season and to then come into this season and be talked about being sold, that was a bit mad. And I just hope now Trevoh Chalobah takes all of that opportunity this season and really cements his position that there is not so ever any more conversation about him leaving the football club. And whenever Wesley Fofana is fit, that there's conversation that can Wesley Fofana come into the team. He shouldn't just automatically come in. And I hope Chalobah absolutely nails down his position right now. He's putting on some fine performances. And I just hope that he becomes a mainstay. He becomes one of those players that the manager just says, you know what, that's an automatic starter for me. Like he's a regularity. So much like Rudiger from last season under Thomas Tuchel. So I hope it happens like that for Chalobah. In regards to Conor Gallagher, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't know what happened. So a bit more news came out post-match. Gallagher felt ill, like he was about to be sick. So he came off. Liam Timmy. So it's a bit strange. What type of illness? Was it like some sort of a stomach bug or I don't know, man. That's very strange, man, to just feel ill out of nowhere like that. I thought it was some sort of an injury, but very strange. So let's see what happens, what transpires off the back of this. Hopefully he's not ill for too long. Obviously, Hakim Ziyech was ill recently. I don't know what type of illness it was. Was it just flu? With Conor Gallagher, I don't think it's flu, because if it was flu, then how would you be fit to play? So something obviously triggered him during the match. I'm thinking it has to do with something with the stomach, maybe. You do get that stomach upset out of nowhere at times. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Watch this space. Some people were saying, oh, this gives me Andres Christensen vibes. Look, calm yourself down. This guy is an absolute warrior. So I'm hoping he comes back, and I hope that illness never happens again. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, a little bit about European Super League. Look, whether we like it or not, I think down the track, this is where football is going. We might have been able to stop the previous situation with the Super League, but don't be surprised in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years down the track, this actually comes into fruition. The way football is going, it's all about, big teams playing against big teams. It's all about the glam, the money, the glitz. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. The way, recently Top Bolly was talking about all-star games. Where do you think the next sort of things that are going to lead on to from here on? All-star games, all-star Premier League team versus all-star Serie A team versus all-star, Bundesliga team. Eventually enough, they will talk about a new Super League situation again. But this is what Baghdad Iqbali had to say recently about this. I think the sport needs more premium, high-quality matches and content, but it doesn't have to be Super League. There you go. They're talking about more premium, high-quality matches and content. So if it's not called Super League, it's going to be called something else. Todd Bowley went there on All-Star Game, the baseball talent competition, or draft generates 200 to 300 million of revenue on a Monday or Tuesday each year. There you go. None of that exists in the Premier League. This is what Iqbali was saying, Baghdad Iqbali. Could there be an EPL versus Serie A game? Could you see preseason matches producing more premium content on the pitch? You could. But structurally, given how botched that episode was, ESL, does anybody have any appetite for something like that? A couple of teams in Spain do, and they are vocal about it. Everyone else doesn't want to go there anymore. So look, whether it's called Super League, I don't know, but you can clearly see Baghdad Iqbali and Top Bowley don't want to entertain something different. Look, the All-Star Games, I'm all down for that, man. All of these charity shield, whatever, community shield, whatever you want to call it, that happens before the season, or even some of the preseason matches, could possibly be some of these superstar All-Star matches. Do you know what I mean? A league, another whole new league to disband the Champions League? I don't know, man. I enjoy the Champions League, watching sometimes the minnows getting it one up against the super teams. If you look at the Champions League these days anyway, it's all top quality teams, man, especially when they go to the second phase. So, I mean, isn't that a Super League in itself? So, something to think about. Ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys have enjoyed this. Let me know how you feel about the Cristiano Ronaldo news. Are you bothered one bit? Would you still take Cristiano Ronaldo at Chelsea Football Club after what has happened? Look, I don't think it's going to happen anyway. He's already played in Europa. One of the biggest reasons why he wanted to come to Chelsea was for Champions League, and it's not going to happen. And I don't think that situation is going to happen. Even though Todd Bowley is looking for a superstar, he might not be the one that we're looking for. There is recently talks about Mbappe. I don't think that's going to happen either. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys have enjoyed this. Smash the like button if you have. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. Hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Until next time, see ya.